There is an ending scene during mid-credits, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Spider-Man. What does it have anything to do? Gee, I wonder what it is. Advertisement!
X-Men.
Yeah. Gosh. And the reason why they had that there though is because Mark Webb was under contract with Fox. I think it was because it was like since 500 Days of Summer. Yeah, that was a Fox film, and he's been under contract with them since then, and his contract wasn't up yet. And in order for them to let Sony hire him, Fox said to Sony, Fox Studios said to Sony, Sony Studios, we will let you borrow our director for your Spider-Man film, but you need to
give us free marketing.
Yeah, free marketing for our superhero film, X-Men. And so they shoehorned in a sneak peek
featuring Mystique in the mid credits.
Yeah, and it really will confuse a lot of people if they don't know the story behind that, and they'll think, oh my gosh, are they mixing Spider-Man and X-Men? Because that would be awesome. And yeah, it would be awesome. Fox, Sony, get over it.
Crazy.
Combine like Devastator.
A wave of nerd squeals that go through the theater halls.
Yes, no, I'm just getting Avengers flashbacks when Thanos was in the end credits and all the nerds were like,
oh my god! I actually did not know who he was after the Avengers. I was just like, who? So I looked him up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, my brother went to see the Avengers with me, and we saw Thanos at the end of the credits, and we're just like, Hellboy. We both looked. We thought it was Hellboy. It looked like Hellboy. But no. So my brother pulls out his phone. He's like, "Okay, who the hell is this guy?" And he's like, "Thanos." And I'm looking at him like, "Who the hell's Thanos?" And he just looks at me. He's like, "I don't know." So yeah, I know a little bit more about Thanos now because it's been a while since the Avengers came out, and it's been on Wikipedia forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as there's been a Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is all knowing.
So yeah,
little
soapbox there,
Yeah. This is starting to turn into a good subject for like a podcast or something. Like talk about the studios that you combine. That would be fun.
If only.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe in future years, but with the current cast that we have now in both the Amazing Spider-Man, Fox, and the Avengers universe, I feel like it's probably not going to happen with that cast.
Yeah. Better. I mean, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. He is Wolverine. I mean,
how long can he go on for though?
He's got at least another 2 movies in him, I think. I mean, he bought the rights to the character for like how many years? I forget.
Dang.
So he bought the rights to the character, so he's gonna be playing Wolverine for a little. He's gonna be the one playing Wolverine for a while, unless he gives permission to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that would be awesome if those three studios could just get off their, could just wise up and say, hey, there is amazing profit to be made if we just combine our sources and pool our resources together and make a movie having all these characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would. But no. I feel like Sony, getting back to Sony, they shelled out this reboot, the first Amazing Spider-Man, pretty early. Like everyone remembers, like another one
when 5 years after.
Yeah, not even
3.
half a decade.
Yeah.
After Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man comes out, and people kind of like, this movie's not necessary.
Understandably confused.
Yeah, they're confused. They were confused, and well, when it came out, they were entertained. They enjoyed it. Majority of viewers liked it.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. We should talk about
better than Tobey.
I will admit he's more fun than Tobey, but Tobey did pull off. I just think he pulled off Peter Parker, the character Peter Parker, a lot more. Andrew Garfield, he pulled off Spider-Man a lot better.
True.
Very true. Yeah, because I don't see Peter as like the character his alter ego Peter Parker as the pretty boy, is smart ass. I imagine Spider-Man as the smart ass. Peter Parker is supposed to be the lone geek. He just kind of doesn't. He's socially awkward, and no, I don't buy for a second Andrew Garfield is socially awkward. He's charming. I mean, okay, and a lot of people will argue and say, no, he's not. But that's personal preference. Okay, I think he's funny.
It's the stutter.
Yeah, it's the
stutter.
It's the LaBeouf stutter. The LaBeouf stutter.
The LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf did the same thing in the Transformers things. Oh, no! Please get off my lawn. Please get off my lawn. Mom, please get out of my room. Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Oh my gosh.
So now, yeah, I just kind of ruined that character.
Andrew Garfield saves Spider-Man in the reboot.
Yeah, this is a Spider-Man film, so yeah, I would prefer Andrew Garfield over Tobey Maguire because this is a movie about Spider-Man. But there was actually something. When I was watching some other people's opinions on this, they said something that was really true, that rang really true to me about this movie. This is a very, very good romantic comedy that features Spider-Man.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
The subplot, the romantic subplot.
It's
you could argue
is
not
the
even
main
subplot.
Yeah, it's like the main
plot.
Like,
Emma Stone
they have
as
chemistry.
Gwen Stacy so much better than Kirsten Dunst
Well,
as Mary Jane Watson. She's smart. She stands up for herself. She never swoons.
I'm not going to blame Kirsten Dunst for that. Kirsten Dunst did what she could with what she was given, and she even said after the third movie, she's like, "I'm done. I'm not doing another one because it's the same thing. It's
damsel in distress.
Yeah, damsel in distress syndrome." But no, Gwen Stacy's proactive, smart, even arguably smarter than Peter, which I actually kind of like.
She's valedictorian. He's second in his class. So, there's that little competition going there.
Yeah, there's like this cute competition. That was actually more the first one than anything, and that was only a line.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually wish they did that a little more, like they were competing or something.
Yeah.
Because then that'd be funny little drama.
She helps out Spider-Man quite a bit in this film.
And she does stuff. That's what makes her a great female lead. She actually does stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the first one, she's like, oh, the lizard's trying to turn everybody into lizards? Don't worry, I'll go make a cure. And then Peter's like, no, don't you dare do something. Don't you dare upstage me.
Don't hang up on me.
Gwen! What? Really?
Did you really?
Yeah. He's like, son of a... Yeah, he still sounds like a teenager. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about Garfield. He does sound like a teenager, even if you don't think he looks like one. But
Raimi films, I felt like it hit the nail on the head as far as the original '60s Spider-Man feeling. So many like nostalgic moments. So it's just like, but The Amazing Spider-Man fits more into if you ever read the Ultimate comics.
Yeah, it's definitely closer to the Ultimates comics, which are the ones I read, at least to an extent. I read I read less than 10 of those volumes. I have
equally funny. Peter's a little bit more of a smart aleck.
Yeah, he's a smart. Well, he's a teenager. He's supposed to be and a lot of teenagers are smart asses. I'm a smart ass. Oh, we were talking about Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn for a little bit, and we kind of ran off. I want to talk about Dane DeHaan a bit more because
Harry dynamic.
There is the thing. James Franco's Harry Osborn is believable. Like when I saw the first Spider-Man by Sam Raimi back in 2002, I never really read the comics, so I didn't really know much about these characters, except that Peter was a nerd, turns into Spider-Man, and Venom's awesome.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew who Doc Ock was. What I know mostly came from the '90s cartoon, and that's usually not the. That's actually not the. That's not the best source for Spider-Man lore, I guess. But
I still haven't watched the end of that. I do not know how.
I think the last episode is actually a lot of fun and actually pretty clever, and it's very true to the comics. But
dang it, Netflix! Why'd you take it off?
You can find it on YouTube. That's what I did. But back to Harry Osborn. Hang on, the lighting's terrible, and the blinds are closed, but whatever. Harry Osborn in the Sam Raimi films at least had a story arc. He had 3 movies to develop. This Harry Osborn had 1 movie to develop. Granted, it's a 2.5-hour film, but he doesn't get the spotlight, and which I really wish they did. I would have been so much happier if they cut Electro and Rhino and just made this about Harry. That would have been a much more interesting and much more a much more bigger story because Green Goblin. Good Lord, that's arguably Spider-Man's arch nemesis.
Yes, it's
He is
basically
yeah
like Batman and Joker.
Yeah, he is the Joker to He is the Joker to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But the Joker is the Batman. Green Goblin is the Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Despite his ridiculous design, which I actually kind of liked in this one. So he deserved to have like the spotlight, the head of this plot. They should have just cut Max, made it about Harry, who was never mentioned in the first one, by the way. But just appears out of nowhere and is like, "Oh, Harry, my friend, my childhood friend." Yeah. Exposition.
So basically, Harry's been gone for a while because his father sent him off to boarding school.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't really think too much of his son.
Yeah. Well, that's true to the comics, I guess. But Chris Cooper was wasted as Norman Osborn. Like, I thought, okay, Willem Dafoe is Norman Osborn. Willem Dafoe was perfectly cast as Norman Osborn. He was great. And I wish there's like a couple of actors I wish they just took from the Sam Raimi films and put in these ones because they were just that good. One of them is Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. The other is J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
I hope they bring him.
Yeah, if they bring him back, I will stop my complaints. I will stop complaining. I would love to. I love JJ as and J.K. Simmons as JJ.
Yeah, and there's references to Jameson.
Yeah,
the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's like an email or something.
I hope this picture is good enough. Sends it, gets an email back almost instantly. All caps, wrong. just like little bits like that, showing off, Jameson's humor.
Yeah. Oh man,
his wages would be fair if it was 1961.
Yeah. Oh man. J.K. Simmons is definitely getting more and more popular since those movies. I'm glad to see that, and he better come back. Anyway, though, we talked about Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn. Though he does pull it off, and he's really good.
He's fun with it too.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's like, you know what? It's weird. I kept there's like close-ups of his face. I'm like, this kid looks like a really young and really skinny Leo DiCaprio, despite the emo comb-over that he has.
I can see it in the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. It's his face. I think it's his face. He looks like he's got like the eyes of Leo DiCaprio, and I don't know. I really liked he does chew the scenery a bit, and like but it's like he's still a kid. He's still a kid, but he's having fun being evil. Mm-hmm. Almost like because there's a subplot where he inherits Oscorp, but his underlings want to kind of take a hostile takeover or something like that. And when they do, he kind of does that evil what was that Norman Bates stare from Psycho. He's like, I can show myself out or something like that. And
yeah,
and it's great. It's fun. I like and he does that cackle really well as Green Goblin. That cackle was good.
Almost as good as Willem Dafoe's.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't see him while he was doing the cackle. Willem Dafoe, I'm pretty sure he can just do that all on his own without any modification of his voice. It's just
that takes talent.
It does.
It's like doing the joke. It's like doing Mark Hamill's Joker laugh. Oh. I mean, a lot of people can do the Heath Ledger laugh easily, and the Heath Ledger voice for Joker easily. But no one can really do that.
Because the Heath Ledger one is so just patronizing. It's just like ha ha.
Yeah. It's. I mean, that one's easy, but I'm talking about it's just like going falsetto and then back on the throat. But Mark Hamill's Joker, the laugh though, that one's hard to do. And I think the philosophy that Mark Hamill had behind doing that voice was he wanted to make it sound like a musical instrument, and that does show, and that's hard to copy.
Yes.
And same goes for this character, Green Goblin's laugh. And I actually like the design of Green Goblin in this. It's more, he doesn't have a mask.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's his face. It's all his face. But he has these dentures, and poor Dane DeHaan has to act through those dentures, and he literally talks, Peter, and I'm just like, you can take that off. I mean, there were parts when he licks his lips. I'm like, okay, that's creepy, that's good, but he needs to lose the dentures. I want to hear him I don't want to hear someone talking through their teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, so talked about Paul Giamatti, Dane DeHaan, Stone, Garfield. Jamie Foxx is Electro. We talked a little bit about him already. Okay, so I think it's time to just say what we recommend this film, and then we go into spoilers.
Okay.
I would recommend this film if you enjoyed the first one.
Mhm.
If you enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man, you will probably like this one too.
Definitely improvement on the first one.
Oh, okay, that's hard to say because the plot of the first one was so much more coherent.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
And it didn't feel like a mess at all. But in terms of like
Visual effects.
visuals,
Oh.
this one beats the first one. I'm not a guy who comments on visuals, especially since it's all digital nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who likes practical effects. I'm one of my favorite movies is John Carpenter's The Thing because of the practical effects.
Yeah, pause. He's the film major. I'm not. So, okay. Pause. All
okay.
right.
Back the visual effects in this, they look
So
great.
good.
It's like, and I love the color. It's so colorful in this one. The second one is so colorful.
Vibrant.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and I want to see that again.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like it just jumped right off the comic book page.
Yeah, it looks like a visual representation of the comic books, and I like that.
And like any frame, like where Spider-Man's fighting, you could just pause it and like I don't know. They caught so many of the like iconic poses in this one. Like it's like, okay, now Andrew Garfield, he is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like at first he was kind of stumbling, like the whole crane sequence and
that whole the amazing that wasn't his fault. That was again in the writing.
Right.
And it's like if you don't know what we're referring to, there's this crane. Okay, never mind. You just see the first one, you'll know what we're talking about. There's a crane scene in the first one. It's goofy.
He's just stumbling through being Spider-Man. He doesn't really have it all together yet, and a bullet can still take him down.
Well, okay, yeah, he's not bulletproof.
Yeah, I know.
It's not bulletproof, Monk.
He hasn't learned
God,
to.
I can't believe I made that reference.
He hasn't honed his spider sense yet to avoid the bullets.
He avoided a lot.
Yeah, he did.
It's just like it was just bad luck that he got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the first one. I would recommend this if you like the first one. If you like goofiness, if you like to have fun, because that's what this movie is. This movie is fun. Technically, it's not that good, but it's still fun.
It's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, but there's the thing. It's I think the chemistry with the characters they're better than the action scenes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
if you've ever seen Mark Webb's 500 Days of Summer,
he knows how to do romance.
A little bit of that, you'll see 500 Days of Summer kind of poke through at certain points, especially with some of the songs that they play.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. His choice in soundtracks are really good.
Yeah.
There's that scene where Peter's kind of like doing that like montage and that music. In the background. It's like that's totally 500 Days of Summer where there's the Wolf Mother song. He's got the tennis ball going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being free. Yeah.
Yeah.
See 500 Days of Summer too. That's a great movie. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch because it's so real. I mean, okay, not real, but it's the feels. The feels.
It's more realistic take on what actually happens in a relationship.
Yeah. Like it's
in
definitely
contrast to The Notebook, which
every girl's like every girl I know.
Not every girl.
Not every girl, but every girl I know. Notebook. Unless they okay, not every girl I know. Most girls I know.
I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Yeah. I'm not kidding though. I'm not kidding. Most girls I know love that movie, and it's like I haven't really seen it. It's a melodrama, and it's really I guess it's touching. I guess.
So many unrealistic expectations set for relationships.
Well, that's the thing about movies, though, and that's actually something why I like this movie. It's not realistic. I don't go to movies to see reality. I go to escape reality. I don't want to be reminded of how harsh life is. But that's okay. I'm also contradicting myself because I just said 500 Days of Summer is really good, and it's. And I'm just saying I don't like reality, and despite it being probably the most realistic depiction of relationships.
Let's say, when you go to see a superhero movie, you're not expecting reality.
Yeah, when I go see a Spider-Man film, I don't expect reality.
Yeah,
I don't expect reality to hit me in the face. I just expect to have fun. And this movie, and I did have fun in this movie.
It does a very good job of taking you like by the time you're done with the movie, you're just like, wait, where did I go? Like just
Yeah,
like you
it's like what
literally
happened.
it engulfs you in this made up, version of New York, and it's wild.
Yeah, that's the thing about these Amazing Spider-Man films. I never seen that much of New York, as opposed to the Sam Raimi ones. I felt like I felt like New York was much bigger in those ones.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's not much of a complaint, but I mean, it's still just something of note. I felt like New York really was more of like a live city in the other ones
There's
than this
definitely
one.
some dark parts of New York, but
Yeah.
this movie it's definitely focused on
It's
the bright,
Yeah, the bright colorfulness,
the
but
shiny
but it's not that it focuses on the bright colorfulness. It focuses just more on the characters and the adventure. And the thing is, the adventure is what I'm here for mostly, and mostly I want good characters, but I want a better adventure. And yeah, so I would say go see it. I mean, it's definitely if you can find it at a cheap theater, I'd say definitely go see it.
Yeah, 3D's not necessary.
I hear the 3D is actually pretty good. Like the electric stuff was really good. We didn't see it in 3D.
There's a couple scenes where Spider-Man Spider Sense is actually like featured a lot more prominently than 3D's films. Like how he actually like slows down time.
Yeah, they do the
like,
bullet
deals
time.
with-
They do the bullet time thing.
Yeah.
Like they did in like the Sam Raimi ones, where it's like time slows down, everything just like stops, and he just analyzes everything.
Except this time, it's actually
it feels a lot more urgent.
Where he actually needs it, not like while he's just walking down the hall in school. And
Yeah.
Like, oh look, a fly.
Well,
A spitball.
To be fair, that was him learning those powers. He didn't know what was going on. Okay. Now, would you recommend this film?
I would recommend this film if you are a Spider-Man fan and you will watch these films no matter what. I don't know, if you're not into too much goofiness, it might be a little bit overbearing at times, but it definitely sucks you in, and I mean, it's a long movie, but it doesn't feel that long by the end. It's a little rushed. But it takes you in and then, spits you back out at the end, and you're just like, what just happened?
Yeah. Or should be asking yourself, what didn't happen?
What
didn't happen in this movie?
That's the funny thing. There's so many things that could have also happened.
Yeah.
But there's still so much going on that they didn't have time for those things. So it's like
I feel like they
it's
did
a long
shoot
movie.
them,
Yeah,
like,
it's a long movie.
2.5 hours
With a lot of stuff going
with
on.
so much stuff.
But
it feels like nothing got enough time though.
Yeah, but there's so many things that like were potentially left out that could have been featured, given more time to develop, especially like Harry's, transformation.
Yeah, that whole subplot, I wish that was the whole movie. Because that deserved to be especially with this ending. It needed to be the forefront of the plot, but no, we had to
be much more of a backstabbing moment.
Oh no, yeah, okay. Both recommend it, especially if you can find it at a cheap theater. I don't think 3D was necessary. But we enjoyed it without 3D. So 3D. I mean, if you really want to see it in 3D, hey, you may have already have. It's been out for a couple of days. Just go see it. If you like the first one, you're gonna like this one.